Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with K80Y TV, with a version of Good Morning Oxnard, or Wake Up, just depending on how you're feeling right now. And I want to introduce you to one of my heroes, even though he's a little bit younger than myself, and that is Max Stanton. I give him his new middle name, but he is one of our technical directors here at the studio. And you've gotten really involved in just hearing a lot of different opinions and things. And we went to the government center last night, and we were exposed to a lot. And the reason why we're doing this segment is because one of the important things we talked about was your particular profiles, the age group that really needs to step up and learn how to vote, understand it, see the social value of it, see the significance of it. And you said a lot of wise things that I was wanting to capture. But let me just put in this question, like, what do you think it's going to take to get people of your profile more involved where they actually vote?
Well, one thing I think for us is to get them more involved. Well, the main ways to get to that is through school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, one thing we talked about was perhaps during middle school field trips and whatnot, through, like, maybe to, like, the government centers and such, or maybe even during, like, government class, you can actually at one point learn how to register to vote and whatnot, because that would be the perfect time to learn, because most people who are taking government are 17 to 18 years old anyhow. And yeah, mainly towards, and another thing I was thinking of, you know, like programs like these, or perhaps we can get participation, but actually participation from both sides, from both parties.
Mm-hmm.
Because the problem is, if only like one party is doing things like good, like meet the candidates, then government teachers can't actually show anything.
Exactly.
Because then it seems that they're politically biased.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. And you brought up some terms that, well, I never thought about this one. And I don't know if it's an actual term, but you said you called it adolescent procrastination.
Yeah, that was when we were talking about the whole media thing, like the strategy of berating some. I guess one way you can call it is mudslinging, I think it's called.
Okay. And what was the term again?
I don't think I was using it as a term, but
or
more.
A word.
I was using the phrase or that, because the problem is with that strategy, I think, is that while you're giving them reasons not to vote for that person, you're giving them no reason to vote for you. Which, while I admit not knowing too much about how political voting works,
Right.
I do know quite intimately how teenage procrastination works.
It's supposedly, I guess you had a little bit of that symptom, or just being gracious on it. And we had talked about, what is a countermeasure for, people like a Bob Allen, myself, to be mentors, to try to encourage. What are some of the things that need to be put in place to do that? And so you talked about doing it earlier, let's say in middle school, and teaching them the process so by the time they're 18. But, what are some of the things that can be done for this adolescent procrastination you're talking about?
Well, probably another way is perhaps finding a way, like readapting how like the commercials work.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe instead of like negative, actually saying what their agenda is, and maybe what's more, perhaps even having it so that maybe with government classes. Again, I'm kind of more focusing on they're going to learning it at school, because that's where they're going to mostly learn most of the things that they learn. And that's really where they're most focused on, or things outside of what they do extracurricular.
What I hear you saying, Max, is that it's the negativism that turns off at least you and people that you know, because you're asking people to provide the positive.
Well, not so much the positive or the negative as much as that you're kind of giving them like not to do, and it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And the other is like, I'll just not do anything. if they're not giving me a reason to vote, I won't vote at all.
So it's like they get maybe this delusional about, you know, what's my effect, why do it, why waste my time. So I just was really encouraged and very bright to hear you say some things that are going to be changed, because as our executive producer Bowen says, the next couple of years are going to be some amazing times when it comes to elections and time frame, who votes. And I'll be interested to see what the average age in Ventura County was this time around and see if we make some improvements. But Max, it was fun doing that segment with you last night. I got to know a lot of people, and they were very happy and pleased to meet you. So with that, this is Max Stanton, a leader of his particular age group, which again, I have to listen to him because one last fact, yesterday was also Common Sense Day, and I did not know that, and I think his profile age group did know that. And when he shared that with me, saying, wow, there's so much to be learned. So Peter Godinez, your ambassador with KADY TV, again with Max Stanton.